This week on Vegas Nation Blitz, regrouping ahead of the Bears, the Raiders addressing some issues after week 3, such as the offensive line. Hear from head coach Pete Carroll.
We got the guys we got, and there's, and we need to keep developing and keep building on it.
Plus, Tre Tucker has a huge day. We unpack that and more. Vegas Nation Blitz starts right now.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Blitz. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
We're at such an early stage of developing of our team that we have to keep building. We have to go through the hard stuff, learn the hard way, learn the hard lessons. Yeah, it's a thought. You throw the film out and don't look at it. But we have too much to teach and too much to learn. And so this is just part of the process, and it would have been nice to, get 2 wins out of these 3 or get them all. But it didn't happen yet. So we've got to keep working at every phase of our game.
Well, that was Raiders head coach Pete Carroll Monday on the development of his team so far in 2025. Hello and welcome into Vegas Nation Blitz. I'm your host, Dominic Lavoie. So we just heard from the coach. Now for some of his top takeaways from week 3 in Washington, we're going to bring in Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignore.
Well, for the Raiders, it's a bounce-back week without question, but really it's a bounce-back month for the Raiders' offensive line. They have not gotten it together. 3 games in, that's the weak link of the Raiders without question, and the key now is to make sure it's not the fatal flaw of this season. And what do they got to do to get better? Well, they got to get more physical. They have to play with a better edge. They have to communicate better. Individuals have to do better jobs individually of winning their battles. None of that has happened on a consistent basis yet for the Raiders. They get Jackson Powers-Johnson back this week, presumably. He's still in a competition, quote unquote, for that right guard job, but I think we're going to see him on Sunday. He's missed the last 2 games dealing with the concussion. He brings a physical edge, but there's been some concerns about his communication and his understanding of responsibility sometimes. At least that's been the implication. But he does bring a physical edge to the offensive line, which I think would be a major help for the Raiders, who played passively, non-aggressively, and basically got their lunch handed to them in Washington. That's about it from Raiders facility in Henderson. Talk to you guys later.
Now, it wasn't all doom and gloom on Sunday. Geno Smith, despite being sacked 5 times, evened out his touchdown-interception ratio, throwing 3 tutties on the day, all of them going to Tre Tucker, the third-year wideout, grabbing 8 passes for 145 yards and those 3 aforementioned touchdowns. Now, that 3-touchdown outing was the first for the Raiders since 2017 when Michael Crabtree did the very same thing against the Jets. Now, Tucker's game on Sunday also made him the first Raider ever to catch 4 touchdowns in the first 3 games of the regular season. Pete Carroll comments on Tucker's performance.
Tre was fortunate on a couple opportunities. The concept really fit the concept of their defense. Got behind him a couple times. We didn't get him a couple times too. There was other opportunities that we could have gone to him. So Tre took advantage of it. Geno was on point, and there were some real nice calls there to get him open for the touchdowns. Tre's had a really good start to this season, and he's been very consistent. He's come through in big ways, and it's just really indications of more to come. We got to keep going to him because he's making things happen.
And the Raiders are still trying to get the run game going this season. Ashton Jeanty on Sunday getting 17 attempts for 63 yards and no touchdowns, averaging about 3.7 yards per carries. Now, the good thing on paper, Jeanty's yardage is ticking up in each game. Same goes with his longest run, but paper doesn't tell the whole story. Jeanty on Wednesday sharing what he's learned through the first 3 weeks of the season.
You can either look at the negative all the time and, what you did wrong and, just take it as, you're not good enough, you can't make these plays. Or you can look at it as a learning lesson of like, hey, I made these mistakes, but I can learn from these and, be better. That rule of like, don't make the same mistake twice. So just taking that responsibility and initiative to, get better and improve.
And quarterback Geno Smith speaking Wednesday on his running back season so far and how he needs help.
We have to help him. It's my job to help him. Like, I hate that, obviously, he's going to put a lot of pressure on himself, but he's not out there alone. It's 10 other guys out there that got to do their jobs and help him. And so, I take great responsibility in making sure that Ashton is, first of all, in the right headspace, which he is, and also, he's got the ability to go out there and make plays. And so I got to make checks, put him in position to go out there and make plays. I got to do a better job to make sure that, he's out there showing us what he can do, because when he gets in the open field, man, he's hard to stop. So we just got to get him into some more space and allow him to do his thing.
Now we're going to keep this trainer rolling with Heidi Fang and the one thing on her mind this week.
Thanks, Dom. Let's talk about Geno Smith. Despite an underperforming offensive line that's allowed him to get sacked 12 times this season, the veteran quarterback has still managed to average 277 passing yards a game, and he's thrown for 4 touchdowns on the season. But the 12 times he's been sacked ties for most in the NFL, along with Patriots quarterback Drake May and Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. But the Bears defense is allowing 8.3 yards on average per passing play. They're also allowing an average of 256 plus passing yards a game, and their total passing yards allowed of 769 ranks 25th in the NFL. So Raiders, time to sort out the O-line, protect the pocket, and see if Geno Smith can get a 300-yard game going against the Bears, who, oh yeah, by the way, have allowed opponents to score the most passing touchdowns in the NFL through 3 weeks. I'm Heidi Fang, and that's one thing I'm watching in Week 4.
All right, now we're going to step away for about 15 seconds, but when we come back, we're bringing Adam Hill into the show for his Fast Takes, and we take a look at some swag. The Raiders already have 3 games under their belts this season. Who or what has stuck out for me style-wise? That's coming up.
DNR House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler. We specialize in natural and lab-grown loose diamonds, engagement rings, and custom design. If you're looking for lab-grown diamonds, we have one of the largest selections at the best prices in Las Vegas. We make luxury affordable every day.
All right, welcome back into Vegas Nation Blitz. As promised, we're bringing Adam Hill into the show for his Fast Takes on Week 3.
So much talk this week about the offensive line, and with good reason. They just haven't played well. And look, this is a big issue for Pete Carroll because he and his staff made a big gamble this offseason. Everybody just kind of assumed the way last year ended with Jackson Powers-Johnson at center, Jordan Meredith at left guard, Dylan Palmer at right guard, and the 2 tackles that were in place, that they were going to build some continuity, build some momentum off a pretty strong close to last year. But this staff made a huge shakeup. They moved Jackson Powers-Johnson to guard, moved Jordan Meredith to center, and Dylan Palmer to the left guard, where he has said in the past he is not as comfortable. That's all fine if it works out. If it doesn't, then the questions are going to start to be asked, and they're being asked right now. The Pete Carroll regime here really needs this to work out, and right now they're saying no changes are coming. They're not going to move Jackson Powers-Johnson back to center. They're going to keep going as it is with him and Alex Kappa battling it out at right guard. Jackson Powers-Johnson should be back this week. We'll see if he's in the lineup. But so many questions about this offensive line, and this is the big opportunity for them to prove Pete Carroll right. Because if it doesn't work out, there's going to be a lot of questions about where the offensive line is, why the changes were made to the offensive line, and of course Pete Carroll's son being the offensive line coach, really incumbent to work out with these changes that have been made, and they get one more opportunity Sunday against the Chicago Bears.
Now finally, time to talk some swag. With the Raiders already playing in 3 games this season, I've clocked some different style choices for the guys in the silver and black. First up, for any basketball fans out there, Kobe's have been a hot shoe for the Raiders this season, specifically the Grinch colorways. We've seen Zamir White rock the Grinch cleats, rookie Dante Thornton Jr. wearing the reverse Grinches along with Geno Smith in practice. Also, defensive back Eric Stokes has a fire sneaker rotation himself, but his sock game has been jumping out to me this season. He's been rocking some Supreme and Bape socks during practice all season long. And oh yeah, I guess in this photo you can see the cleats from the looks of them. They look like the Nike Jordan 1 Chicago colorway that was released in 2023. Now the defensive back talks about where his love for shoes and designer socks came from.
Growing up, I always wanted some of the little things that I got now, like the shoes on my feet, all this little smaller stuff. I'm a big little sneakerhead, so I try to stay in touch with it. So you'll see me right now. I love some foam posits, so that's a little gem right now. But yeah, I just love like little finding little stuff like that and just throw it on.
Now, as for Stokes' style on and off the field, we asked him how he would describe the way he dresses.
I'm used to like a hood, like white tees, simple little stuff, and just throwing some fire shoes, or like throwing a little smaller stuff. So I ain't into all that little stuff. I just like simple little stuff.
Now Stokes also continued to say that he thinks the best dressed DBs in his position group are Caillou Blue-Kelly, Jeremy Chin, Terrell Edmonds, and Chris Smith. But for now, that'll do it for this week's show. If you think I missed any clothing or accessories that popped out, go ahead and let me know. And make sure to return this Saturday for Vegas Nation Game Day to get set for the Chicago Bears game. Plus, to hold you over until then, make sure to follow us on social media at Vegas Nation or follow along on the web at vegasnation.com. And if you really need more Raiders coverage, make sure to tune into the Vegas Nation First and 10 podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. So once again, this is goodbye for now. Thank you all for hanging with us, and I'll see you all next time.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Blitz. Presented by DNR House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the 1 Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.